The restaurant's crystal chandeliers cast dancing shadows across empty tables, but Sarah barely noticed. Her hands trembled as she smoothed down her thrift store dress for the 100th time, watching couples laugh over wine while she sat alone, checking her phone. 20 minutes late, 30, 45. The sabo, pitying glances from the waitstaff felt like daggers. She'd spent her last $40 on a babysitter, money that should have gone toward her daughter Emma's school supplies. What had she been thinking? A single mother working double shifts at a diner had no business, dreaming about romance, about someone seeing past her worn shoes and tired eyes to the woman she used to be, the woman she still was, somewhere beneath the exhaustion. Sarah blinked back tears, ready to leave, when a small hand tugged at her sleeve. "Excuse me, miss. You look sad." The little girl couldn't have been more than 7, with perfectly curled blonde hair and a velvet dress that probably cost more than Sarah's monthly rent. Her enormous blue eyes studied Sarah with the unfiltered concern only children possess. "I'm okay, sweetie," Sarah managed, forcing a smile. "Just waiting for someone." "Is it your prince?" the girl asked seriously. "Daddy says everyone deserves their prince, even if they have to wait." Despite everything, Sarah laughed. "Something like that." The child glanced back at a corner table where a man in an expensive suit sat buried in his phone, barely acknowledging her presence. "My daddy forgets I'm here sometimes. He's very important. But you noticed me right away." She tilted her head. "Can I sit with you? Just until your prince comes?" Sarah's heart squeezed. She recognized that loneliness, that hunger for attention. "Of course you can." The girl climbed into the chair across from her, chattering away about her school, her friends, her nanny who made terrible sandwiches. Sarah listened with genuine interest, asking questions, laughing at her stories. She knew how precious it was to be truly heard. With Emma, she made sure every word mattered, even when exhaustion pulled at her bones. "You're really nice," the girl said suddenly. "Not like the other ladies Daddy brings here. They're always looking at their faces in little mirrors and asking him about his business." "You look at me like my mommy used to." "Used to." Sarah's chest tightened. "Your mommy sounds wonderful." "She was." The girl's voice dropped to a whisper. "She got sick. She's in heaven now with the angels. Daddy says she's watching us. But..." She traced patterns on the white tablecloth. "Sometimes I forget what she looked like when she smiled." Sarah reached across the table, covering the small hand with her own. She knew that particular pain intimately. Emma's father had walked out before she was even born, leaving Sarah to build a family from broken pieces. "I bet she had a beautiful smile. And I bet it looked just like yours." The girl's eyes welled up. "Really?" "Really. And I bet she loved you more than anything in the world. That kind of love doesn't go away, sweetheart. It stays right here." Sarah gently touched the girl's chest over her heart. "Forever." A shadow fell across their table. The man in the expensive suit stood there, phone still in hand, irritation creasing his handsome face. "Olivia, I told you to stay at our table." "I'm in the middle of an important..." He stopped mid-sentence, really looking at Sarah for the first time. His expression shifted from annoyance to confusion to something else entirely. Recognition? Impossible. They'd never met. "Daddy, this is my new friend." "She's waiting for her prince, but he's lost, so I'm keeping her company." Olivia beamed. "She's really nice. She listens to all my stories, and she doesn't check her phone even once, and she says, 'Mommy's love is still in my heart.'" The last words tumbled out in a rush, and suddenly Olivia was crying. Real tears streaming down her perfect little face. "She understands, Daddy. She really understands." The man's entire demeanor crumbled. He dropped into the chair beside his daughter, gathering her close, his phone forgotten on the table. "Oh, baby girl. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." He looked at Sarah over Olivia's head, and she saw it then. The same exhaustion she carried, the same grief, the same desperate attempt to keep moving forward when every step felt impossible. "Thank you," he said quietly. "I don't know what you said to her, but thank you." Sarah stood, gathering her purse. "I should go. My sitter." "Wait." He pulled out his business card, then seemed to think better of it, tucking it away. "I'm Marcus Chen, and I owe you more than a thank you. Please, let me buy you dinner. Both of you, I assume you have a daughter?" Olivia mentioned you understood. How did you— You have that look, he said softly. The one that says you'd burn down the world for your child. I recognize it because I see it in my mirror every morning. Sarah should have said no, should have walked away from this beautiful restaurant. This man in his $1,000 suit, this child who somehow saw straight into her wounded heart. But Olivia was looking at her with such hope, and Emma was always asking why they never went anywhere nice. And suddenly Sarah was tired of pretending she didn't deserve kindness. Okay, she whispered. Okay. They talked for 3 hours. Marcus sent his driver to fetch Emma from the babysitter and bring her to the restaurant. When Emma arrived, eyes wide at the elegant surroundings, Olivia squealed with delight and dragged her off to explore, leaving Sarah and Marcus alone. He told her about his late wife, about drowning in work to avoid an empty house, about failing to see his daughter's loneliness until tonight. Sarah told him about Emma's father, about working herself to exhaustion, about the blind date who never showed, and the humiliation of sitting alone. He's an idiot, Marcus said firmly, and maybe the luckiest idiot alive because his loss gave us this moment. The girls returned, giggling, already best friends in that miraculous way children have. Emma climbed into Sarah's lap, whispering, Mommy, Olivia says her daddy is a CEO and has a big house with a pool, and she doesn't have anyone to swim with. Can we visit, please? Marcus looked at Sarah, hope naked on his face. Can you? I know this is crazy. We just met. But Olivia hasn't smiled like this since her mother died. And he swallowed hard. I forgot what it felt like to talk to someone who gets it, who understands that sometimes being strong means admitting you're breaking. Sarah saw her future branching before her. She could say no, protect herself and Emma from potential heartbreak, return to their small apartment and smaller dreams. Or she could take a chance on something terrifying and wonderful. Daddy, she looks like Mommy, Olivia said suddenly, tilting her head at Sarah. Not her face, but her heart. She has Mommy's heart. Marcus's eyes glistened. Yeah, baby. I think maybe she does. 3 months later, Sarah stood in Marcus's living room, watching through the window as the girls splashed in the pool. Marcus came up behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. She'd quit one of her jobs. Emma was enrolled in Olivia's school. They were taking it slow, both of them terrified and hopeful and healing. My assistant finally tracked him down, Marcus said. Your blind date. Apparently, he showed up an hour late. Saw you talking to Olivia, assumed you were with someone else, and left. He sent an apology. Sarah turned in his arms. Tell him I said thank you. Thank you? For being late? For leaving? For giving me the greatest gift of my life. She looked at the girls, their laughter floating through the warm evening air. I went to that restaurant looking for a prince. I found something better. I found family. Marcus kissed her forehead. Olivia was right, you know. You do have her mother's heart. You both love without limits, without conditions. You see people for who they are. Outside, Emma and Olivia called for them to join the pool party. As Sarah and Marcus walked hand in hand toward the laughter and splashing, she realized something profound. Sometimes the empty tables, the no-shows, the moments we feel most alone, those are the moments that redirect us toward where we're truly meant to be. Her prince hadn't been waiting at that restaurant. Her family had. And they'd found each other not through a perfect date, but through a lonely little girl who recognized kindness when she saw it, and a mother who understood that the greatest gift we can give is simply to see each other, truly see, in all our beautiful, broken humanity.